The focus of today's lesson is the 3-column cash book. Now previously we looked at the 2-column cash book. Definitely the number of columns in the cash book can increase. The additional column that is being used in the 3-column cash book is an additional money column, namely discount. Now the discount column is placed alongside the cash column on the left hand side as well as the right hand side of the cash book. The two discounts are not related. Now when we record any discount in the cash book, we're not dealing with a trade discount. In fact, we are dealing with a cash discount. Do you know the difference? Well, a trade discount is usually offered to suppliers buying in bulk, whereas a cash discount is given to someone that is making a payment for goods that are received on credit, or it is used as an incentive to encourage prompt or early payment. Now, as with the 2-column cash book, the 3-column cash book contains the debit side from date all the way to bank, and it contains the credit side again from date all the way to bank. As you would have noticed before, all of the columns on the left side or the debit side, they are repeated on the credit side. The debit side remains the inside, or the side that you'd use to record things coming in the form of cash or check, and the credit side would be used to record all payments going out in the form of cash or check. Now the discount column would be used whenever a deduction is to be made, or rather a reduction is to be made in the amount that is to be received from our customers, or the amount that is to be given to our suppliers. Enough said. Let's go directly to the question. May 1st, balance brought forward, cash 2,530, bank 15,600. These items are assets and the normal balances are debit balances. May 1st, balance brought down, brought forward, May 3rd, paid wages by check 6,300. Wages detail, the payment method check 6,300, that belongs to the bank. May 5th, receive a loan by check. Money is coming in. The loan is coming from Big Development Bank. It's $10,000. May 8th, cash sales to T. Richard. The name T. Richard is irrelevant because payment is being made by cash. If it said credit sales to T. Richard, we would deal with sales and T. Richard, and of course that would not belong or be recorded in the cash book. Sales and cash. This is the same as saying sold goods, payment being received in cash. May 10th, paid MDOF account in full by check. So we're paying. Wow. It says the outstanding amount was 5,000 before taking 5% cash discount. So we're supposed to give them 5,000. However, we have to deduct 5%. So 5,000 times 5 over 100, 250. So it means we'd give them 5,000 less the 250. We'll give them $4,750. May 12 says withdrew cash from the bank for office use. So it means we're going to the bank and leaving with cash. Not for private use, but for business use. So it means the money in the bank is decreasing, the money's in our cash till is increasing. So we're showing that it's okay. We can start with the credit. May 12. We're showing that it is coming from the bank, and as a result it's going to cash, and it's going on the debit side. Cash is increasing. Now such an entry is called a contra entry, denoted by a C in the folio column, meaning both parts of the transaction took place within the cash book, with one account increasing while the other decreased. So if you had a transaction just the same way the bank increase and the cash decrease, it is also a contra entry. May 13th, paid electricity by cash. That's a payment. $765. May 17th, the following paid their accounts by check. Notice, even though it says paid, if you read it carefully, you would gather that someone is paying us or paying Clothing. So the person or persons are L. Joseph, V. Tola. They said each deducted 5% cash discount and paid the difference by check. All of that occurred on the 17th. They paid us by check. The check amount should have been 4,500, but it will be equal to 4,500 less 5% of 4,500. Okay, which means the 5% would be the same as 225. So if we added these two figures together, we should get back the amount, the full 100%. We'll repeat the process for VTOLA. Alright, discount is 2,560, 5%, that's 128. So again we have 2,560, and you subtract from that the 128. I'm just showing you different ways of doing the calculation, but at the end the result's the same. Transferred $500 from cash to bank. Now this is also a contra entry. May 22nd, you're transferring it from cash to bank. So bank is increasing. The other account involved is cash. $500 as well. Oh, the date for this one is also the same as May 26th. Paid Kwashi $2,940 by check, having deducted 2% cash discount. So it's a payment, but it says that we already deducted 2%. So we're not giving him the full 100%. In fact, this figure represents 98%. So let's do that calculation. $2,940 is equal to 98%. So we divide by 98 to find how much 1% is equivalent to. You multiply by 2, that will tell you the 2%, the value of the 2% in terms of dollars. So we're paying Kwashi May 26, $60 is your discount, or our discount rather. 2,940 is the full amount of money given. Now notice this one is different in that you are not working with the 2,940 and subtracting the 2%. It says having deducted. It means it was already done. So the original amount of money, if you want to know, it will be the 60 plus the 2,940, 3,000. M. Clouden bought a car, and when we speak of M. Clouden, we're speaking of our business, because this is M. Clouden's cash book. Bought a car for personal use at a cost of $25,000 paid by check. It's a payment. What details are we going to record? May 29th, we're told M. Clouden. But because we're dealing with a car, you might be tempted to record motor vehicle or motor car. But it says personal use. Personal use, drawings. Drawings has the effect of reducing the capital of the business and reducing our cash or bank balance. On the 30th, received cash settlement of $200 from Magna Insurance Company. We are receiving, we are collecting, it's coming in. May 30th, insurance company. $200 by cash. So these are the entries for the cash book. The next step is the balance of the cash book. Alright, we're about to balance the cash book. But first, let's just pay attention to the discounts. Now we have on the left side, discount allowed. On the right, we have discounts received. Now these two columns, they are not part of the same account. As a result, when balancing, all that is required, you just find the total of each column separately. Now when you're dealing with like columns, meaning cash on the debit and cash on the credit, you would total both columns and then you would subtract the smaller from the larger and find the balance or the difference. You would record that difference on the side that had the smaller total, and then when it's recalculated, both sides should have the same total. You do the same for bank. Alright, when balancing, we would leave one clear row or line after the entries on the side that has the greater amount of entry, or the greater number of entries, sorry. So we're going to start balancing somewhere down here. Alright, so let's find the total. I'm going to total this column here. Okay. I'm going to total across here, likewise the credit side, 310. Okay, so there you have the total for both sides. Let's deal with cash. $3,400. I'm going to add these items here. 1,265. Actually, let me bring all this down into the calculation. Now it means we need to find the balance, the difference between these two figures, which will be the same as saying equal to 3,400 minus the sum of everything that's here. Good. Now when you balance in, you put the last date of the month. In this case, may have 31 days. And we put in carried forward because we started with brought forward, we end with carried forward. Now let's go to the bank. Okay, the bank total, as we can see, is 32,807. Let's try that on the credit side. It's 39,195. So here we see that the credit side is bigger than the debit, meaning we had more payments than receipts. It means our balance would be on this side for the bank, on the debit side. 31st May. Carried forward. How do we calculate that now? It is now equal to this total minus the sum of everything above this total. And there we have it. The balance carried forward on the bank is on the debit side, but that's not the true balance. In that, the true balance is the balance brought forward. So it means we have one more step. This was May 31st. The next day, which would be the first of the next month, which is June. 1st of June, balance brought forward is equal to 6,388 for the bank. Of course, it's on the credit side, implying it is no longer a normal balance but an overdrawn balance, meaning you spent more money than you actually had in your account. And the cash balance 1st of June it is equal to 2,135.